Moving back in with Mum might not sound like the sort of creative impetus every 27-year-old musician requires to overcome second album syndrome, but it worked for Ben romans-hopcraft. After touring his band's debut, Lacuna, the childhood frontman was left bereft of ideas. He moved into his mum's flat in West Norwood, South London, a domestic change which provided everything he needed to nourish his inspiration: vintage soul music every Sunday and, based on the rakish new look he is sporting today, quite possibly a functioning iron. It also proved integral for him to reconnect with his cultural identity. I never really embraced black music in my own way before now. It's such a vague term. But I wanted to place a little bit more importance on my identity. Not just my identity as a black person, but also the community that I'm from. Influenced by the soulful orchestration and subtle rock grooves of Smokey Robinson and Todd Rundgren that echoed through his mum's house, Hopcraft decided to abandon the shoegaze and dream pop of childhood's debut for a sun-scorched sound with a little more spiritual depth. Universal High's lyrics, meanwhile, draw from the area Hopcraft grew up in: a multicultural, working-class community in a stark contrast to the music industry he had been ensconced in since 2012, an environment in which he was often the only black person in the room. Where I come from, it's a mixed bag. It's not just about indie, middle-class white culture. And that's what I wanted to show. I just feel like it's something that should be represented if you can, because it's honest. I wanted my music to be a more truthful look at where I'm from. While the record shares the same mellow soundscapes as the band's debut, there's even a baggy quality to Nothing Ever Seems Right. A lot of the lyrics are based around anecdotes about people who come from struggling backgrounds and are dealing with the modern oppression of living in a massive city, he says. Elastic Funk track Monitor, for example, is about a family friend's 16-year-old son who was racially profiled and subsequently went off the rails when he was wrongly accused. It completely spun him out, and it is about that kind of interaction on a really young black male and how it can really mess you up. Ben romans-hopcraft. Photograph Lyndon Alland for The Guardian. Aside from reconnecting with his roots, the years between Lacuna and Universal High offered some more unfamiliar experiences. Hopcraft and the rest of the band, Leo Dobson, Johnny Williams, Max Daniel-Ifantin, Thomas Tomasky, spent time in Atlanta with Ben Allen Deerhunter, Gnarls Barkley, Animal Collective producing the record, a luxury he says he thought was something you'd only get if you were the Bee Gees. As well as recording, Hopcraft integrated into the Atlantan lifestyle, having barbecues in the local neighborhood and even visiting a Prince tribute night at the famous Claremont Lounge strip club. Then there was his side project, Insecure Men, with Saul Adamczewski from Fat White Family, an experience which led to him visiting New York for a collaboration with Sean Lennon, with Yoko Ono in tow. She is really, really lovely. She gave me a high five. It was really surreal, he says. Sean and I have established a good friendship, and me and him and Saul were writing songs while I was there. There's definitely going to be more music from that trio in future. Universal High album by childhood core to childhood's new vision is the overarching theme of identity and pride. The album artwork is a photograph of a preacher in the grips of a dramatic sermon in Elephant and Castle, while Hopcraft switched jeans and t-shirts for slickly tailored retro suits, styled by the award-winning Grace Wales Bonner, an innovative new figure in fashion who went to school with Hopcraft and explores the beauty and delicacy of black male identity in her work. It's a shrewd, sophisticated move, especially given most modern guitar groups have very little drive to look anything more ambitious than Day 3 at a Deerhunter-curated ATP. Hopcraft is now playing festivals and will be touring the record with the rest of the band this year. He has moved out of the flat with his mum. He no longer needs the grounding. By the sounds of it, childhood have grown up. When I was 22 I was really concerned with the mythology of being in a band, what to do, where to go out and hanging out with X and Y, he says. IWASNT getting any enjoyment out of it, IWASNT being creative. I feel a lot more comfortable with what I want to do now in music. Universal High is out now on Marathon Records.